Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of Unknown to World No Club 2. We're back today with BK HACKEN, and we've had a decent run to the end of the season. It's not been fantastic, but we have gone into the final 2 games with a chance of getting into Europe. Now, just before we get too far into it, just want to say if you're enjoying the series so far, please do leave a like down below. Comment what you think we can do in the new season following this episode. Can we sneak into Europe this season? Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content as well. Support is massively appreciated. So since you were last with us, we followed up with a 2-0 win against Elfsborg. We did then lose 1-0 to Norra Köping, although they are one of the teams in that top 4, so not too much to complain about. We then beat Falkenbergs 1-0, thanks to a goal from Karlsbach, which was a phenomenal strike. But then we lost 1-0 to Djurgårdens and 2-0 to Gothenburg. 2 disappointing results, particularly the Djurgårdens game. But most recently, we got a 2-0 win against Kalmar, which means we're currently sat in 6th place. We've got AIK to play. So if we win our 2 games, we would go above AIK and potentially into that top 4. Obviously, results elsewhere depending. However, it's a good spot to be in, and hopefully we can capitalise on it. First of all, though, we've got to play Digifors, who are currently sat down in 12th. So hopefully we can pick up a win against them. And the lineup to try and do so, we've got Hansen in goal, a back 4 of Nylam, Hamar, Hansen and Kalsays, Loftus and Olsen in midfield, Plana on the right, Kelpie on the left, Heinz in behind Muziolik as the striker. Corner kick from the left-hand side, Heinz goes short and it goes out to Plana on the edge, who nearly loses it, but attacks, loses it in the end anyway, and Hamar's going to go and collect that. He turns around and plays it back to Nyholm, who again, they're pressing as high here. Nyholm goes forward to Plana, and then back to Loftus and Hamar on the ball here. Goes back to Hansen, who plays it forward to Olsen. We're being pressed very high by this team. We might look to see if we can tell them to pass into space. I think we might end up with a way to open them up if we can do so. And then going forward again now as Kalsays picks the ball up. Can he get across in? There's nobody in there though. Heinz to Olsen. Whips it in. Plana puts us 1-0 up. No, he doesn't. It was offside. Nearly puts us 1-0 up. I think he might have gone just a little bit too early, but the ball from Olsen was fantastic on the turn. He is offside. Only just, but it doesn't matter. It was offside. Half-time, it is 0-0. We've dominated possession, and we've dominated the XG in... I mean, it's not a lot of XG, but we're in control of it, we should say. But unfortunately, not much in the way of highlights. Hopefully, in the second half, we can get some highlights, and hopefully, we can pick up a goal. I have started to up the tempo a bit and also pass into space. In the way they were pressing, I feel like that might allow us to get the ball around them a little bit quicker. Hopefully that'll pay off. We're going to make a change now with Yusuf coming on for Utara on the left-hand side. And then Adrian coming on in midfield for Olsen. And he's going to change to a centre mid. And Heinz is going to become an advanced playmaker. Later on, there's a throw-in which comes into Ravelosen. They've got it into our box here, but as they try to play it back to Kondo, it's intercepted by... Oh, that was a wasted ball forward from Yusuf as they play it back to the keeper. Their long ball forward is one in the air, and then a ball out to the left-hand side where Larsson's going to go and pick it up. AIK are winning, which is even worse news for us. Ball into the box, and Ivanov puts it in the back of the net, but it's offside. I can't really say whether it was well offside. It's a tight one, similar to ours, to be fair. Just that touch too early. Later on, we've got a highlight as the goal kick from them comes forward to Kalsays, who plays the ball in time. Muziolik wins us the game in the 93rd minute. I assume he's won us the game. We've scored late on. We're going to just take our time now for the last 2 minutes. But the ball from Kalsays this time wastes no time. Just a ball in behind. Muziolik, one-on-one with the keeper, slots it away. Fantastic finish. And at half-time, we've won 1-0. A very nice win. Yeah, we've done our job. We controlled the game and eventually found a way through. you would like it to be more comfortable with the way the game played out, although we didn't get many big chances, but it was enough for us to pick up the win. We're on to 48 points, level on points with Gothenburg and Norrköping. So if either of them slip up in the final game, in fact, really, anyone in the top 5 could slip up, and we can potentially move into that. We'd need a lot happen for us to win the title, but we've got a decent chance of getting into Europe if we can beat AIK, but they're the team top of the league, so maybe not. And for the lineup against AIK, we're switching to the 4-3-3. We've got the same back four, except for Kalpi has come in at left back for Kalsays because he's now suspended. I think it was his yellow card. I'm guessing it's the 5 yellow card rule like we have in England. And then we've got Lockfist as the holding midfielder, Olsen and Heinz in front of him. Then Plana, Karlsbach and Muziolik as the front three. Just while we wait for the first highlight, a little bit of things to let you know about. So elsewhere in the league, I think the entire top 5, none of them are playing each other, which isn't really in our favour, unfortunately. We have got the first highlight here is a free kick. That's a corner. Goes to the far post and it was brilliantly blocked on the line and cleared away. So, yeah, not in our favour today. And 2 of the teams above us are already winning their games as well, which makes it all the more difficult for us to end up in that top 5. Half-time, it's still 0-0. It's been a pretty even game. They've had a couple more shots than us, but other than that, not really anything concerning. As you see, Norrköping now winning their game. That's literally just happened. However, Djurgårdens are pegged back to 1-1. Gothenburg winning 2-0. So at the minute, a win wouldn't see us go into that top 4 anyway. Whatever happens, we might not be able to get into that top 4 from the looks of it. Free kick just inside the AOK half for themselves. They're going to try and start to bring it forward. And Mehmeti plays it forward to Jensen. Can he get a bit of space? He plays it back to Mehmeti. And then back to Rogic. And we force them all the way back, but then they go out to the right. Masaurus trying to get into a crossing position. He does so, and Hamar is put into his own net. That's a disappointing way for us to go 1-0 down. He wasn't even trying to clear it. I don't know what he was trying to do. He's literally... Is he trying to pass that back to the keeper? I think he has. What a moron. Highlight now with El Bouzidi on the right-hand side for AIK. Another crossing chance here. Goes back to Rogic, who is closed down by Karlsbach, but the ball bounces kindly for Masouras. His cross comes into the near post. Hamar just kicked a man, but we've got away with it. Polana's breaking away down the right-hand side. Cuts it back to Heinz, and we've now got a free kick, apparently. Don't know where that came from. Olsen stood over it and strikes it. Doesn't find the top corner there. Karlsbach is going to come off for Yusuf on the left-hand side. And also, after his own goal, we'll bring Hamar off for Arega. Free kick from deep here. Jensen sends it straight to Nyholm, basically at the first man. And now we're able to play our way out of the defence. Nyholm forward to Polana on the right-hand side. Back to Heinz, and then back to Polana. Nyholm tries to get past his man. Jensen has pulled him back and is going to be sent off. And in response to the red card, we're going to go straight out into the 4-2-3-1, go attacking, and let's see if we can exploit the fact that they are now down to 10 men. Lockfist heads the ball back into the area, but it's cleared away. Hansen has collected it and brings it forward. Olsen to Heinz, tries to turn and shoot, but it's nodded back on. Muliosic tries to head it on again. Arega sends it forward to Olsen. Loftus over the top to Yusuf on the left-hand side. Turns it back to Heinz. Into the box. Muziolik heads over the bar, and he was offside anyway, as it turns out. Late on now, Nyholm throws it into Heinz. Back to Nyholm. And we've got a chance for a cross late on. Goes all the way through. Yusuf just didn't seem to anticipate that reaching him, and then loses it at the far post as it's cleared away. And Arega heads it back to Olsen. Is there another chance coming here? Heinz on the ball. Chance for a cross. Gets it in. Muziolik with the header hits the bar, or the keeper saved it, and then Yusuf was offside from the rebound. And despite coming alive in that last half hour or so, AIK pick up the win, which also means they're going to walk on our pitch and lift the trophy. They've won the Allsvenskan. It's not great when you have to see another team lift the trophy at your own ground. I don't think there's a rivalry involved here. It's not nice either way, but it's better than it being rivals. We're going to skip past their celebration. I'm going to tell them that I'm still happy with the performance. I do think we might look to sell Muziolik. I just think target man, not really my style. We might look to move him on. We do drop down to 7th as a result of Varberg's picking up a draw with Malmo, who had dropped down quite a bit actually. They were second when we got here, I think. And just before we wrap up, it is the following morning. We've got the season review. So we're not going to pay too much attention to transfers. More than anything, I wasn't really involved in them. We'll have a quick flick through and you can just see who we've brought in this year. This is one of my new signings, who we haven't really introduced as of yet. So the target for the season was to avoid relegation. We have instead finished in 7th place. And what's going on there? Because those two aren't showing us being qualified for anything, which is very strange. I can't actually figure out why that would be. Instead, we finished top half, so very happy with that season. We're expected to reach the group stage of the Swedish Cup, which we have done so, but of course we won't know what happens next until we get to the start of the new season. Moments to remember, we had the 4-0 win against IK Sirius, which would have been before I joined. Match to remember was a 1-0 win against Falkenbergs, in which Carlsbach scored the goal of the season, in fact. So we'll just pop in and show you that one. I did mention it earlier in the episode, actually, that he scored a fantastic goal. He'd come off the bench for us. What has happened there? He'd come off the bench, and it was a very tight game. And then ball came out to Calces. He plays it inside to Olsen. Carlsbach turns, strikes from range. What a goal that is. Deserved winner of that game. Finance-wise, sponsorship did go down a little bit. It's hard to know exactly what's caused some of these. Broadcast revenue is massively up. Corporate and hospitality up. I think, yeah, I believe from the looks of these, I would say HACKEN got promoted last year. In fact, of course they did, because when we played them, they were a division above us when we were at Österlen, and now, of course, they're in the top division. So, yeah, they definitely did get promoted, which would explain the broadcast revenue going up, the corporate and hospitality going up, competition price. It doesn't really explain why sponsorship went down, but we move. Top selling shirts were Heinz, Olsen, Muziolik, Polana and Schoberg. The best 11 was Hansen in goal, a back four of Krohn, Hansen, Arega and Calces, Loftvist, Gustafsson, Traore, Heinz, Kurtovic and Johansson. I don't recognise a couple of those names. So Gustafsson left to FC20. And then we've got Traore. He's gone to Bruges. Kurtovic is actually still here. That's a little bit awkward. The fact that I didn't pick up that he was still here. Sorry, mate. As is Johansson, who's just been on the bench, to be fair. Maybe we should have given him more of a chance, given that Muziolik wasn't scoring quite as often as we would probably like. Fans player of the season was Emil Calces. He's also the young player of the season. And then the top goal scorer was Polana, coming in from the right wing once we joined. Heinz with the most assists. Polana with the most man of the matches. Hammer with the highest average rating. I think he was a player that definitely improved when we came in. He got a few goals from corners almost straight away. Most goals by a player in a league match, Hammer with 2. That's a record, apparently. That's not what you want to see. Most clean sheets by a player was Hansen. So overall, a pretty good season for us. Admittedly, yeah, we joined partway through, but I feel we did continue where we'd left up, where it had been left off. And next season, they want us to finish in mid-table. So we'll just quickly run through this. I think we can get a mid-table finish. They're happy with that. Very nice to see. And other than that, I don't think there's really anything else for us to go through. We'll give them a 10-week preseason. Sounds a bit crazy because normally in the Premier League you're like, oh, do you want 5 or 6 weeks? 10, 11 and 12 for the options in Sweden. What a difference. So our next game is in 105 days at the moment in the Swedish Cup. Of course, we'll have some friendlies leading up to that, I would think. But if you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Comment how you think we're going to do in those group stage games. Of course, we don't know what our group's going to be. I don't know when that even gets drawn. The 30th of November, so later this month. Let me know where you think we need to strengthen as well. We're going to be looking at bringing in some signings over the winter. Subscribe if you are enjoying the content on the channel. Do you think we can get Europe next year? Let me know what you think. And thank you very much for watching.